Hi, this is Shane Bryant from the Bad Boys Podcast. While the Bad Boys Podcast is on a break, I decided to launch a brand new show featuring interviews with some amazing guests that we've had, as well as new interviews that I've done on my radio show on LAFM. I've had so many interviews that I've done and so many more planned now. The show is called A Long Way to the Top, and if you'd like to hear more, then search for Long Way to the Top on the platform that you're listening to right now. Enjoy this special Bad Boys presentation of Long Way to the Top. This is Long Way to the Top, and I'm your host, Shane Bryant. In the words of the immortal AC/DC, it is harder than it looks. These interviews will give you a glimpse into the lives of the artists that we've sung along with, danced and rocked out to. Some go deep into their past and others celebrate their recent releases. But all of them show that regardless of who you are, it's always a long way to the top. This week on my show, The Long Lunch, I had the privilege of being joined in the studio by Shane Howard of Goanna and his daughter Niamh. A champion of environmental and indigenous issues, Shane was in town to share an acoustic, intimate concert. And as a prelude, he shared a few songs, including the latest single, Takayna. Although it was being broadcast across the North East of Tasmania, our little chat and songs felt like a mini concert performed just for me, because that's how Shane makes you feel as he draws you in with his stories and his passion for this beautiful land. From the beginnings with Razor's Edge and Solid Rock right through to his brand new single, Takayna, enjoy this special Long Way to the Top with Shane Howard and Niamh. LAFM 7SD, Shane Bryan with The Long Lunch, and we've got another Shane in the studio, Shane Howard from Goanna. How are you, mate?
I'm good. I'm always energised in Tasmania. It's just awe-inspiring every time I come here. And I go, my wife and I, and here with our daughter, Niamh, this time, we just always go, let's just pack up and move to Tassie. It's just everywhere you look, a rainbow appears over a mountain and rainforest, and it just takes your breath away.
I did that 2 years ago and did not look back.
Yeah, okay.
From Queensland. So I said, let's pack up, let's go to Tassie. From Queensland. What a move, hey?
Yeah, okay. Well, Billy Connolly says there's no such thing as bad weather, there's just inappropriate clothing.
That's exactly right. I'm suddenly realising that beanies and gloves are just a necessity. and have you bought the Tassie tuxedo yet?
What's the Tassie tuxedo?
It's the puffer jacket.
The puff? No, I have not. Have not. No, I've resisted that. I've got a little kind of one for when you're walking in the forest and that, which is lightweight and weatherproof. But I do have a very, very sound jacket.
That's a good thing. Sound jacket is perfect. Now I hope you've got good shoes, because you've been wandering around in the in Takayna area for the last week as well.
Yep, testing the boots out. The old blunnies seem to do everything you need them to do. You can go. You can go out to formal occasions and forest walking in your blunnies. Yeah.
That's exactly right. Good old blunnies.
Yeah.
Now, you're here because obviously 40 years since the High Court decision for the Franklin Dam.
Yeah.
And do you pinch yourself and go, that was 40 years ago?
Yeah, I can't believe I'm that old. But,
I wasn't going to say that. I'm that old too.
Well, time... time evaporates, and it's amazing to look back over 40 years.
Yeah.
We were young and bold when I first came down here. We were a Geelong band, essentially. It's where we set out from, and then we moved to Melbourne. But Goanna, that is, and we did a lot of benefit concerts for the Otway forests, which are kind of the northern extension, cool temperate rainforest of the Takayna. So very similar kind of forest. But, I watched in my lifetime the Otway shrink and almost disappear. There's no, other than one little stand, there's no old growth forest left in the Otway forests, in southern Victoria, which is a kind of tragedy. And the amazing thing, you walk through the Takayna and it just is so awe-inspiring when you see these massive trees, like 12 metres and more in diameter, reaching 30 and 40 metres. And but the macro, the micro, the little coral fungus and the tiny little there's all this tiny stuff happening on the ground that Niamh was photographing, and to walk through that kind of country and to know that it's still there. This is some of the most precious rainforest on earth. And last year, the report just come out from the United Nations. We lost in rainforest, significant and important rainforest, we lost an area the size of Switzerland in 1 year last year. You know, and in this era of climate change and climate mitigation, we need those forests. They are the lungs of the earth.
Yeah.
We have to do better. My son, you know, who's about 19, he said to me a few years ago, there was a report on the telly about climate change and the seriousness of what we were confronting. And he got up and he said, your generation failed us. And I said, hold on. I said, oh, we're on the good team. Like we were fighting for the forest and the Franklin. And he said, yeah, but your generation has really failed us. And, you know, it hurt, it cut.
Yeah.
And it falls to us to do better for our kids and our grandchildren.
Yeah.
We have to do everything we can to do things better. You know, the MMG, the Chinese company, they want to build this third tailings dam right beside the Paiman River in Takayna, in that takayna forest. It's about 70 to 100 MCGs in size. And when you stand in where that's going to be, which we did on Monday, Tuesday this week, and you look up at these towering eucalypts and you know, celery pines and myrtles, and you realise they're all going to be underwater.
Wow.
Not water, it's under a toxic acid dam that'll be toxic for thousands of years. There are other ways, a thing called paste fill. There's ways that rather than pumping it in a pipe across the Paiman River, we know human error always happens.
Yeah.
We know things fail. That's a toxic, it happened in the Gulf country, you know, where they were doing a similar project some years ago. We just got to do things much, much better. It might mean that shareholders get a little smaller return. You know, it might be a little more expensive, but it keeps the jobs. You know, we do paste fill. It's a hard thing rather than a slurry or a sludge. We just have to work out how to do this stuff better. And
it saves an area that I think I saw a video on Facebook where you actually called the takayna Australia's Amazon.
It is. Well, Bob Brown said that, and it is. It is Australia's Amazon. And you know, as Bob says, how can we ask the Brazilians to save the Amazon, the ever diminishing Amazon, when we can't save our own forests here? So we have to pull our weight. We have to do our bit. We have to be smarter. We're not stupid people. We're clever. We're resourceful. We're imaginative. We've had to be. We're, you know, Australians. And we can solve these problems. We can deal with it. We can keep the jobs. We can protect the forests. We all want, you know, zinc aluminum on our roofs and corrugated iron and all that. We have to get smarter at how we do that.
Smarter.
Look after country. Look after our climate. Be responsible for our children and our grandchildren.
Now, we're going to play a song, and actually, I did have a request, which maybe we'll play a little later. Did you want to play the new single, since we've been talking about the takayna?
This is not the Goanna band version. This is a very folky acoustic version.
Yep.
And Niamh might help me out here.
All right. So this is the new single called takayna.
Takayna.
Yeah.
Which is, of course, the Palawa word for the takayna.
Yep. We're tuning the guitar, by the way.
Retune now.
This isn't the song just yet. So, sorry, I was going to get you to play another song, and I know you had to retune the guitar for this, right. But I thought no, it's kind of perfect. So
even Pope Francis, you know, came out this year and said he's called for an end to our senseless war against creation. Yeah, he's very devoted to the responsibility we have. To our natural world and.
Excellent. Takayna.
across the valley. Birds announce the coming rain. Swaying trees herald a warning. A storm is gathering again. Drifting mist in towering forests, middens line these restless shores. In a world that's fully living, there's rivers running through folklore. Takayna, may your nature still remain. Takayna, and the sacred you contain. May your nature and your mystery still remain. We were made out of this country, from the stories and the songs. Forever here in reverence, we knew the right way to belong. But the ravagers would come, they would have you bought and sold. With dreams of industry and empire, and a fool's pursuit of gold. It's a kind of, may your nature still remain. It's a kind of, and the sacred you contain. May your nature and your mystery still remain. You are the air we breathe, the water of life. You embody all the deeper things that we can't define. We will come, we will go, in a string of precious moments until the letting go. Water beads upon a new leaf, wedge tails spiral on the breeze. May you stay this way forever, full of awe and majesty. Chain of life, come down millions of years. May we leave you as we found you, without the haunting fears. Takayna, may your nature still remain. Takayna, and the sacred you contain. Takayna, may your nature still remain. Takayna, and the sacred you contain. May your nature and your mystery still remain. May your nature and your mystery still remain.
Oh, wow. That was incredible. Absolutely incredible. Shane Howard and Niamh. Well done. Very good. Very good. Would you mind sticking around? Because I'd love you to play some classic Goanna as well.
No worries. Yeah,
that'd be great. We are live on The Long Lunch with Shane Howard from the Goanna Band. And Shane, I've got to say, Goanna was it's funny. It's almost tracked my life. You know,
Right.
I was at school listening to Goanna. I started working in a radio station. You were doing a solo then, you know, doing the whole River Runs Dry.
Oh, yeah. Well, the River album and all that stuff.
Yeah, great. And now here you are, like full circle, you know, in the studio, sitting here playing some songs to me. So thank you.
Well, no, thanks for having us.
And to everyone else listening, of course. But I feel like it's a private concert here, so it's fantastic. There's been I guess there's been a real sort of evolution over that whole period, and we've touched on this in previous interviews. But you know, when you first started 40 years ago,
Solid Rock was 40 years ago,
Yeah.
and Let the Franklin Flow. So yeah, it's interesting to measure change in that time. What's happened? Things have gotten better for our Aboriginal brothers and sisters in that time. We've still got a long way to go. We have the referendum coming up this year. There's an opportunity to look. I don't think the voice is a big deal. I think it's really the crumbs falling off the plate. It's a very small and generous offer. That's how I see it. And my feeling is, you know, I don't think there's anything to lose. I don't see that there's anything to gain from a no vote, other than meanness of spirit, really.
Yeah, there is a lot of the Indigenous population that are saying, no, we don't want it. We want to have a no vote.
Yes, it's not a majority. It's possibly different down here in Tassie. And look, I absolutely understand those Aboriginal voices. You know, I've spent a lot of time travelling through Aboriginal Australia and hearing lots of, and the opinions are broad and diverse, as they are in the non-Indigenous community. It's a broad canvas. But, you know, my feeling is that if we really are serious about, and look, I understand. Of course, first principles, this country was stolen. That's not even open for debate. Aboriginal people got a really bad deal. You know, First Nations people got a terrible deal. The brutality of colonisation, we all understand now, we know. The truth-telling is really important as we go forward, that we face up to the errors of our history and go, this is an opportunity to go, okay, let's start taking those meaningful steps to close the gap in health, life expectancy. Too many Aboriginal kids in detention, in jail, particularly on the mainland, Northern Territory. We have to do better. All the indicators, health indicators, they're not closing. And so whatever we've been doing is not working. If, you know, federal government, the big corporations get lobby groups. They get a direct voice to Parliament, to the lawmakers, the decision makers, the politicians. I think Aboriginal people deserve the same right to have at least have representation to federal government. On laws they're called upon to obey that will affect them. I don't think that's a lot to ask. I think we've got to go forward. We've got to go take that future. I think inevitably this will lead us to an understanding and to truth-telling and to a treaty process where we actually, which we've never done. We're the only Commonwealth country that hasn't done that with our First Nations people. These things matter. We have to get to go, okay, the past is the past. And it was a terrible history that happened here in our colonial history. But we get to go to a new starting line and go, okay, let's build a nation that we're all proud of, where we all get a fair go, where we can be a shining light to a very troubled and confused world. There's no reason why Australia cannot lead in this way. And, you know, I think we're a clever, imaginative and good-hearted people. And I think we can, we've got to trust ourselves. We can do these things. We can build a really, a worthy nation, I think. And I would love to see those things happen in my lifetime. And I'm running out of time.
It's almost like it's a new moment in time that we really want, isn't it? You know, we want to see a new moment in time. Like,
I would even go so far, Shane, as to say we haven't got to the starting line yet.
Yeah.
And I think this is an opportunity to begin that process where we really start to build ourselves as a proud, strong, united nation. You know, no reason why not. And mutual respect across all of us. You know, the land of the fair go, egalitarian, and where everyone has opportunity.
Yeah.
You know, we're a good-hearted people, and I believe that Australians will do the right thing.
Yeah, I think we will too. Now let's play a song.
what would you like to play?
I think I have a request from you, so I think it's a fait accompli.
Well, look, one of the reasons why I wanted you to play this song is it was, I guess, the starting line before Solid Rock, really, wasn't it?
It goes right back to this song. Gee, I was 19 years old. I left Melbourne and didn't know what I was going to do with my life. I knew I wanted to do music and be a songwriter. I had no idea how to do that or how that was going to unfold. I wanted to hitch to Sydney to try and play at the Elizabeth Folk Club up there. I ended up for 3 months hitchhiking. I ended up in Cairns, and then I had to get home again. And this song really unfolded during that hitchhiking journey as Australia opened up to me, the East Coast, and began to meet people, and hear their stories, meet Aboriginal people along the way, jamming in parks, pretty much homeless really, but just basking as I went and seeing the country unfold, before me as a young fella. And all the people in this song in Razor's Edge, they're all real people. They're all real stories, and everyone's having a hard time. They're all struggling to kind of make sense of their lives.
Yeah, this is Razor's Edge, Shane Howard and Niamh.
Just the other day, living in Queensland was not okay. Can't find the money just to pay the rent. The food and the herb, they're still heaven sent. He's been leaving on a razor's edge, trying to touch the sun. He won't fall for that same old trick again. Kathy's all right, she just get worried every day. This world that we love might get swept away. There'll be nothing left if we don't change our ways. How's it gonna work out? She said anyway. She's been leaving on a razor's edge and trying to touch the sun. She won't fall for that same old trick again. Living down beside Torquay, she's getting herself together financially. Says one of these days I'm just gonna lie in the sun. I don't really know, but I'd say she's on the run. She's been leaving on a razor's edge, trying to touch the sun. She won't fall for that same old trick again. I got a letter from Davy just the other day. And the note just read, please come to Byron Bay. You got a heart saying go, you got a head saying stay. And the big wheels just keep turning every day. And don't go leaving on a razor's edge and trying to touch the sun, 'cause you just fall for that same old trick again. That's what they tell you. Yeah, but leaving on a razor's edge, still trying to touch the sun. We won't fall for that same old trick again. No. How we gonna pay the rent?
So nice. Well done. Well done. Now, to show you how much of a fan I am,
Yeah.
the lyrics in that were actually were from the original song, because Lulu in that one is on the run. But the one that was
You're
released.
on the case here, yeah.
Yes.
And Kathy's verse has changed as well. Yeah.
Yes, right.
Yeah, because Kathy, because I keep running into her, and I felt like I'd trapped her in Kathy's All Right, she just gets lonely every day. So
She's just always lonely.
yeah. And I don't want to stick her there, so I don't want to trap her in the song. So Kathy's All Right, she just gets worried every day now.
Oh, fantastic. Now, we're going to go to a break, and we'll come back and do one more song. If you can. We've got to finish with Solid Rock, of course.
Oh, this time of the day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, all right. Well, now I have to think about it, because I have to really think about that, because okay, yeah.
Well, okay, we'll talk about it over the ad break. Well, this has been an incredible hour with Shane Howard, and we've had a big debate during the break. What song we should be playing? Shane, you said no. You can come along tonight and listen to Solid Rock.
Yeah. But you are classic hits, aren't you?
Well, we're the best mix. We're the best mix of music. And I think the best mix of music really means solid rock, I'd say.
Let's see if we can get this together. Oh, and the other thing too, Shane, is we'll sing, towards the end, we'll sing the chorus in Palawakani.
Yeah.
The language of this country. It was translated for me by Teresa Sainty, Palawa woman who's been involved in language recovery.
Yeah.
There wasn't just one language here, of course. There was a number of dialects and stuff. So, but this is one particular take on the language of this country, and I feel so appropriate to sing in the ancient language of this country. Out here nothing changes, not in a hurry anyway. You feel the endlessness with the coming of the light of day. I'm talking about a chosen place, they want to sell it in a marketplace. Look out, now. They were standing on solid rock, standing on sacred ground, living on borrowed time, and the winds had changed, blowing down the line. Right down that line. Round about the dawn of time, and the dreaming all began. Proud people come, living here in a promised land, running from a heart of darkness, searching for a heart of light. This could be paradise, but they were standing on solid rock, standing on sacred ground, living on borrowed time, and the winds had changed, they were blowing cold that night. Stand on the shore one day, water all the white sails in the sun. Wasn't long before you felt the sting. One man, white low, white gun. Don't tell me it's justified. You're somewhere, someone lied. Lord, it's hard enough just to survive. It was genocide. Yeah, but we're getting stronger now, stronger now. Let's get it together in this country. Lulanta, takamuna, palati kuntana, nayapi, dipawuta, tiritina, urakani makaminya, lulanta, takamuna, palati kuntana, nayapi, dipawuta, tiritina, urakani makaminya, solid rock, standing on sacred ground, living on borrowed time, and the winds of change keep blowing down the line.
Fantastic. Well done. Well done. Shane Howard, Goanna Band. And is there a new album coming out soon, do you think, for Goanna Band?
Well, we've done this song, but it actually came, and the recording came from the tour last year at Hamer Hall, at the concert hall in Melbourne. It was a great night, and we were kind of a well-oiled machine, and we did the takayna song there, as well as in Tasmania. And that's where the recording came from. It was beautiful. The band played beautifully, and so that is the single. But when I listened back to the whole night and some of the other live recordings. Maybe there's a live album in there.
Oh, nice.
But, so it's a lot of work though. But, maybe by the end of the year. Yeah.
Yep, awesome. All right, you heard it here first. I'll hold you to that. There you go. Look, thank you so much for joining us on the Long Lunch today. Really appreciate you giving up your time and playing the songs that I wanted to hear you play.
Thanks, Shane. It's just always, like I said at the start, it's just always uplifting and awe-inspiring, really, to come to Tassie. We live in southwest Victoria. We don't have mountains. We have undulating green hills, but this country just takes your breath away. Yeah.
Well, there's plenty of room for you here.
Great.
You're welcome to join us.
Put the billy on a slow boil then.
So if you'd like to head along tonight, then make sure you jump online, grab some tickets at the Royal Oak at 8 p.m. Shane Howard, Niamh, thank you very much for joining us on the show.
Thanks, Shane.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Long Way to the Top. Hit plus or follow to subscribe to the podcast and head over to Facebook at the Long Way to the Top podcast and give us a like. Keep on rocking and I'll catch you on the next episode of Long Way to the Top.